But our featured guest tonight, he's a well-known actor. He's been in a couple hundred TV and movie appearances. And I'm proud to announce and call him my friend. Let's give it up for actor Vincent Pastore. Vinny, clip yourself on. You got the clip there.
You're gonna wire me up?
I'm not gonna clip you, but you can clip yourself.
I don't wanna get wired no more. Okay,
He's had enough of that.
Now, Vinny, what did I do to get you on my show?
What did you do? Well, you asked me about 50 million times. Actually, we met at Nico's. The three of us met at Nico's here on Staten Island. I work with Barbara, and I help her with a restaurant. And you came to one of my shows, and you taped me. And then, you kept asking me, and I keep having conflicts, and I just flew in from Los Angeles for you guys.
Yes, and we appreciate that very much.
I took the red eye. I'm doing voiceover work on a new Disney show called Pair of Kings.
Yes, it says that. Talk about that.
I'm a fish again.
All right.
Yeah. I went from sleeping with the fishes to becoming a fish.
That's all right.
Yeah, I was an octopus first, though. At first I was an octopus on Shark Tale, and now I became a Japanese fighter fish. But it's a kid's show. It's good. It's based on The Thief of Baghdad. It's about these two kids who are supposed to be king of this island. And the kid that's on the island who's a real king. This is a kid's show. Come on.
No, this is great, but Disney is a big channel.
I didn't write this. And the kid that's running the island's got a fish, and I'm the fish, and I'm a bad fish.
That's cool, but
so I said, listen, you got to take him to the other side of the island, and you got to whack him. And I did stuff like that. It's funny. The kids are gonna love it.
And this premieres October 22nd, right?
And it premieres September 22nd.
September 22nd.
Yes, and they already have 13 episodes done, and they called me today, and they're gonna pick this thing up again. So I'll be going back to work again with them in January. So hey, maybe they'll make a puppet out of me.
No, that's a
It's a good gig.
Listen, Disney is one of the top-rated channels that are out there.
Right, Disney owns this cable company, doesn't it?
Huge.
Probably.
Probably, they own everything.
So listen, before we get into everything that you've been...
Minnie Mouse is hot.
Over Jessica Rabbit?
I'll take Minnie. I'm working with Disney now.
That's great. Now listen, before we get into all the stuff that you've been doing, how's life after playing Big Pussy on The Sopranos?
Yeah, don't call me pussy no more.
How did you adapt to that?
Adapt to what?
After the show.
Adapt to being called a big pussy?
Yeah.
I don't want you to call me big pussy no more.
Okay. What about little pussy?
No, you can't. You can't.
Okay. I call you Vinny.
Right, that's my name, Vinny. What do you call me?
Vinny?
Or Vincent, because she's a beautiful lady. I mean, why would you call me pussy?
No, I never do.
Do you know some people, like Bruce Springsteen, don't even know my real name?
Get out of here.
He says, hey, puss. Bruce Springsteen calls me puss. The thing is that what happened, I mean, I love it. I mean, we know after Sopranos it was a great life for a lot of us. But even Sirico, don't call him Paulie Walnuts. And Jimmy, don't call me Tony. My name is Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a character we played.
Right.
And we're trying to get other work, like this job I was telling you with Disney. I mean, imagine if I go in front of the Disney audience out there and they say, ladies and gentlemen, kids of all ages, we got big pussy here. It ain't gonna work. So, I mean, I gotta get away from being called big pussy. Yeah.
That's great.
You can call me Little Dick.
That's funny.
Listen, Vinny, out of all the TV and film you've done, what's the most memorable?
Seriously, was The Life of John Gotti.
That was a great movie. One of my favorites.
That movie should have been released in the theaters.
Big time.
Amino Sante was unbelievable. And if you look at the film, you see Frankie Pellegrino, Dominic Chianese, Tony Sirico, Ray Serra, a lot of great character actors that worked with him in the movie Gotti. We shot that in Canada. And I never forget the day we were flying from LaGuardia to Toronto, me and Tony Sirico, and Tony and I are close, and he said, Vinny, this is before Sopranos, this is going to be the greatest role you've ever done. I mean, when you're playing a real-life guy like Angelo Ruggiero, who was a well-liked stand-up guy. You know, so and then when the family calls me after and they said you played Daddy right, you know, so
That's cool.
yeah, we weren't gonna make these guys look.
The acting was very strong in that. William Forsythe and
Billy
Sammy the
Forsythe,
Pope, right?
right.
All you guys worked great together.
Yeah, it was some good stuff.
Big
Some
time.
Good stuff. Yeah, and Anthony Quinn.
Yeah, you can't
I
get
mean,
a
come
better
on.
cast than that.
I'm working with Anthony Quinn. I mean, I remember one night we were shooting late, and he had a young, beautiful wife, and he had the baby, and I'm holding the baby, and you know, and the guy's 84 years old. He just has a baby.
That's sick.
Hey,
God bless him.
and
Hey,
he
if you
told
could
me he
do
didn't
it.
use Viagra either. So whatever. That was Quinn.
That's beautiful.
Wonderful guy.
Now, you've been doing a lot of independent films the last couple of years. Why don't you
Yeah.
talk a little about them? When will they be released?
Well, the independent world, it's great because, you know, I mean, you and I could come up with an idea, and if we raised the money, you could shoot something from like $25,000 up to maybe $500,000 and call it an independent film. And there's a film that I did with Talia Shire called Pizza with Bullets.
That's what I'm interested
and we're doing a lot. We're doing very, very well with that. And then I did a film with Paul Bugasi called Alienated, and we're doing real well with that. And I just did a film called The Briefcase down in Jersey. I did Torture Chamber in Nutley, New Jersey. And I did another independent with Ja Rule out in San Jose called I'm in Love with a Church Girl. It's one of those movies that are distributed to churches.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I said, don't call me pussy. I mean, imagine if they say appearing today at 11 a.m. after the sermon, the big pussy. Hey, you got to get away from that. It's a church
doesn't
movie.
work.
That's the sickest.
Right. But I'll tell you what, I like to write, and I like to get creative. And I got some great supportive people, you know, like Cha-Cha and all my guys. So I made some phone calls one day, and I said, everybody meet at Cha-Cha's. And they said, okay, what are we doing? I said, we're going to shoot something. And they says, okay. So who shows up? Pat Cooper, Jackie Martlin, Judy Gold.
Really?
And they says, okay, Vinny, where's the script? I says, I got no script. And they said, what do you mean? I says, let's go to work. Can we show a clip of this?
Yeah, now what did you bring? The meatballs or you brought the other one?
I got Holy Meatballs queued up. Now, I wrote this. I co-directed it, and I casted it, and I used my money. And it's called Holy Meatballs. And tonight is the first time anybody ever is going to see a clip from it. So can we see
That's
a clip
great.
of it?
All right.
Little Italy, best place to be for the food.
Yeah, Little Italy, 400 restaurants. Why do we have to come here?
This is Cha-Cha's. Cha-Cha's my friend.
Yeah, I know he's your friend, but come on, Vinny, look at this place.
Ooh, don't say nothing to Cha-Cha about his place.
If I get E. coli, you're
You're
dead.
not getting a coli.
Vinny, how are you?
How you doing? You know Judy Gold?
How
Judy,
are you?
I love your work.
Ah, thanks.
You're really great.
Thank you very much.
You know what?
What?
I always looked up to you.
Come on.
Oh, God.
Wise guy.
Hey, Church.
Hey, Judy.
How are you, honey? Good,
Hey,
how are
Cha,
you?
how are you?
Vincent.
How you doing?
How are you, buddy?
How you doing, Chach?
I'm doing great. What brings you here?
Yeah, the feast. You know, I figure we come down here, we say hello, we go get something to eat. You
We're on
know.
a date.
Where are you going out to eat?
I don't know, maybe next door up the corner.
What, are you going to down the block and go kiss Frankie's ass?
Why you gotta get nasty? I'm on a date with Judy.
What, you taking her to eat?
No, we're gonna go eat over there. What's the matter? You guys can come. You
What's
wanna
the matter
come?
with the food over there?
Cha-Cha, come on.
I got the best meatballs in New York.
You got the best peoples in New York. Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard that before. Yeah. You want to eat here, Judy?
No.
She's my date. She
Why?
wants. Where do you want to go?
I just
Wrong with the meatballs?
don't know. I didn't say there's anything wrong with the meatballs. I just don't feel like eating.
She never had your meatballs. How
And
could she?
apparently no one else does
So why
either,
don't you
but
take her
that's
to
fine.
Cats and go and eat matzo balls?
Why don't you have a little more respect for Judy?
Yeah,
And why don't you do me a favor?
What does that mean?
Why
I'm
don't-
a Jew, so I don't know what a good meatball tastes like?
I didn't say that there.
Cha-Cha, you know, you started like this on the radio show. In fact, she almost didn't want to come in here because you insulted her on the radio show, too, you know.
Vinny,
You did. You insulted her on the radio
That's
show.
all right. I can
she
handle it.
insulted me first.
What did I say?